COVID-19 has changed the world. I'm interviewing extraordinary people on the front line, stepping up with amazing acts of kindness in the fight against this virus. Tune in to watch, support, and share their inspiring stories, because together we are stronger.
All the way from New York, this is a real honor to have you here. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Please, go for it.
Sure. So I'm Dom from Promobile Kitchen. This is Gio. We have a business in New York, and we utilize vehicles as a platform to promote different brands.
Tell me a little bit more. I mean, before, what I'd really love to do is talk about the challenging times, the pandemic, and how that's affected your business. But before we get on to that, tell me a little bit more about Promobile and how it all came about. Your story, I guess.
Sure. So about 8 years ago, we so there's actually three of us. John is one of the partners who we bought our first food truck, and at that time we were looking into restaurants, and we wanted to really start one and get one going in New York City. Looking at the capital to get one going, it didn't work out for us at the time, so we would try to get creative on how we could sublease space and find like a small window where we could serve the pretzel idea we had at the time, or a different food idea. Yeah, a bunch of different concepts. I don't think we want to go through all of them. Most of them you'll chuckle at. So yeah, just trying to look outside the box, we wound up coming across a food truck, and it seemed perfect. I saw it on Craigslist one day, and we literally bought it the following day. And we parked it. We were coming up with different ideas, and John and I were putting our heads together on what it was going to be. And we weren't sure exactly what that menu was going to, be at the end of the day, and what shape everything was going to take. But we knew that we actually had a commitment to Gio, who we were all college buddies, that we were going to visit him in Spain. And Gio left us and met a woman out there when he went to go study abroad and never came back. So
of course.
Yeah, so 5-6 years after we were like college buddies, he stayed out there, took a course, met a woman, and never came back to the States, essentially. So we were like, you know what? We have a little bit of money left. We're going to go to Spain to go visit Gio. We're going to surprise him. And let's also bring something back with us that is going to be a good idea: food, a cuisine, something from the culture, something we could put on this truck that was going to be different and complement this theme that we were working on.
Yeah.
And we had a blast in Madrid and went to Barcelona as well. And being out there, Gio had a lot of experience in bars and restaurants, and he would do his thing. It's managing a team of mixologists, and he was, just doing his thing. One day, we were in one of these bars, or whichever one. What was the name of it?
That was Taj Mahal in Madrid.
Taj Mahal in Madrid, and I'm looking at Gio go, and he's telling these workers, one bartender to go this way, the other guy to go that one. He's making everyone happy, and I see the consumers on the other side of the bar, and like putting a special touch on things. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, this is it. I told John, like, I know what's coming back with us to New York. And he said, what's coming back? To Gio. And that's really the way it all started. Just giving you the high level details of like how we got it going. And I had a quick conversation with Gio, and you literally flew back in a couple of weeks.
We were on the plane and went off to the races. I guess the first part of what it was began, which was a burger truck. The big idea was to sell burgers on the streets out of a food truck. That was short lived. Didn't work out so well.
You're too great there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've been to New York a number of times. I've been to Madrid. And there are a lot of shops on the side of corners selling pretzels, hot dog stands, obviously, are the big things. How are you making yourself different?
So, I guess initially to be realistic, what we thought was so different probably wasn't at that time, but we tried to give a burger in a different shape, right? It's a long one instead of a round one. Yeah. So, we tried to make the best fries, but it wasn't so different. Ultimately, the food truck day to day is tough, and New York is a very difficult place for that. Some do pretty well, but to really make a viable business out of that is tough in New York. It's not the easiest place. So we were able to pivot. It was our first lesson in what do we do now? this we know it's not working out so well. So how do we change something up? And then through searching for ideas, we kind of saw a truck, another truck that was on a neighboring lot, and it was wrapped. It was wrapped in. I mean, depending on who you ask, was it National Geographic or Discovery Channel or whatever it was wrapped in? We started thinking, who's paying for this? How is this working? What's the benefit?
Why on a food truck? Why is there a clothing brand on a food truck? And it didn't make sense. It was one of those weekends where we're up for like 2 days straight, from event to event. We do the prepping, the truck cleaning, the going out with the truck, the getting the parking spot, just everything as a whole to keep the business going. And it was like, I remember it was like the 1 o'clock in the morning, like we're cleaning dishes outside. We didn't really have a space. We used the truck to do everything. And it was like, there's something here. Like it's a billboard. Like we thought about like marketing right away. We started researching why would someone put their advertising? Why would a big brand put their company logo on a food truck? And one connecting the dots that it was essentially mobile marketing, and the truck would drive from point A to point B. You have this truck that's 30 feet long and 12 feet high, and companies pay money for that, for advertising, to get their name out there. And to take it a step further, then you park the truck and you build an experience around it. And I think that's what really intrigued us. We're like, wow, this is actually really special. We could do what we do well, which we thought we did well at that time. We were trying to do well, which was service. We all had service backgrounds to a degree. The truck was, itself selling burgers never took off. But, we were trying to tweak it to make sense. But at the end of the day, we had our hearts in the right place to give a really good product, take care of people, service being on top of our list of everything. And things would come together in the end. So we applied that concept and thought to the marketing business, essentially.
And so how many trucks do you have today, and how do you build that experience? Because it is about the experience, right? Well, part of it is definitely the experience, what I've seen. Is there any sort of companies that you can talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the experience, like you said, is key. You really hit the nail on the head with that. You have to go out there and you have to represent the brand, and it starts with the look of the truck and what that truck is wrapped and how it's designed, and making sure that it's taking care of the initiative or the particular product at hand. From there, the experience really comes in with what you're giving out, whether it's just sampling their product or it's a custom item that's a branded item, and then all of the footprint around the truck. So where it gets something that we took to the next level was we didn't just provide a truck. Right, there's a lot of trucks, and that wouldn't be a differentiating factor, and it wouldn't be very original. But at that time, there wasn't many people that were able to say, yes, we have a truck, which is now evolved into a fleet of trucks. There wasn't many people that were able to say, yes, we also have a team in the office that's going to handle all of your project management from A to Z. And on a truck, when you're pulling together an experiential marketing project, that involves a lot of factors, from the wrap and design of the vehicle to the food management and what you're serving, and having a culinary team that can do that. Your permitting, your location scouting. I mean, what's giving you the permit to be out there to give stuff away? How do you get that in each city? Who's staffing the truck? And we can go down the list, basically just the A to Z of all of our projects, where you're able to get that in a one-stop shop. It allows a brand or an agency to come to you and say, hey, here's our pain point, here's our problem. You have a solution for this. We didn't know it existed. And we've gotten that a lot over the years. So that's been a really positive thing to see. People didn't know, and now they know, and all of a sudden you do 2, 3, 4 runs with the same client, something is going well.
I mean, this all sounds amazing. How then did you go from your business? We've been locked down in the UK for about 12 weeks now. When it hit the States, where were you with your business? I mean, were you looking at potentially closing your business down?
Well, physically, we were in Alaska, actually. That was the.
You were in Alaska. Okay, tell me more. Tell me about Alaska.
Well, there was a project that came up. It was for a big TV network. And it's essentially a food competition show, and then they have all of the contestants from the show go on trucks, and it's they get voted off one by one. Just this was in Alaska, so it added a degree of difficulty that it's a land uncharted, and we really don't know what to expect from Alaska.
Cold, right?
Yeah, cold was the biggest thing we were thinking. But then also, are there food trucks there? What do you do? So you start to research, and then, when we really wouldn't take a project like that on, where we need 7 trucks in a place that's completely out of our current reach, and go out there and I need 7 trucks and I need it in 6 days, and they have to be up and running and wrapped, and everything's ready to go. With aggressive contracts in the background, and just a lot of the things that would be red flags, we were forced to take on because we started to foresee what was coming with the health situation. So we had to bend the rules a little bit and make do and just go.
Yeah.
Right? We couldn't stay still at that point. We had to go. We had to grow. So we got on a plane to Alaska the day after. I think we got on a plane and went to Alaska. Everybody said you can't travel, can't go. That wasn't an option for us at that point. So we executed the first phase of the project. And on the way back is really when everything just kind of fell apart. I mean, I remember sitting in the office and getting, on one day, getting 6, 7 calls that really just shut everything down. Everything was on pause. Clients were, we have to wait until after this is over. We have to monitor the situation. The pipeline dries up very quickly with something like this because there's no choice. And I think from there, that's where we really started to think about, well, we have to do, it started in Alaska with foreseeing it, but, then it really turned into when we hit the ground here again that we have to go. We have to do something. We can't sit still. We can't wait for this to get us. We have to get this.
Yeah, the whole is in its entirety, just everything as a whole is just not a good fit for everything that's going on. And the problem itself, we attract people, we attract crowds. It's a very tangible experience where you have multiple touch points. You're dealing with food, you're handing food directly to people, you're interacting with people, speaking on brands, and it's just a very intimate experience that we offer to make these connections between brands and consumers, whoever their target market is. So the way everything was going to be cut down, we knew that there was going to be events, and we want to serve 1,000 people a day and beyond. Where are people going to be, and is it safe? Is it not safe? How are we going to go about this? So during the downtime in Alaska, we would work on what our strategy was going to be and how we were going to reach out to our current clients to offer something that was going to help during the time, something that was going to align with the pandemic and help help at any capacity. We didn't know what that was then, and help our clients. And one of the main things on our list was keep our team busy. We're not going to have any work for a certain period of time.
So keeping your team busy, how did you adapt the business to COVID-19? I mean, what was your sort of main strategy?
The first thing that we did, Sonya, was actually launch our own donation. Gio and I were, like I said, we were brainstorming in Alaska, and we knew that one of the main things we were going to avoid by all means was laying off our staff or cutting pay. It was going to be the last thing that we would entertain. And luckily, through the years, we set aside enough money to, if no revenue was coming in, we could just keep on depleting our savings and get by for this 3-month period that we were anticipating, a 4-month period. We didn't know what it looked like. So to answer your question, we figured, all right, how do we do good during this time, and how do we keep the team busy so we keep morale up and we keep them focused? Because if there's nothing to do, that's the worst thing in the world, and you have a lack of movement.
Completely.
It's really going to affect the culture of the company. So if we're paying for all the operational expenses, we're keeping our team, rent's going to remain. What else could we do to add another layer of expense that could help, which was buy some food? Go spend X amount of money to help hospital workers. And we're like, what, this is a great thing. We can use the trucks. We have the trucks. We'll be, we're going to be considered essential if we go out there and we're donating food and giving it away for free. And our team's going to be busy. And there was a lot of work that went into doing that, reaching out to hospitals and doing the coordination, reaching out to the brands. So we reached out to all our clients first and said, hey, listen, do you guys want to donate your products? And we had this overarching idea where we could connect brands to hospital workers and just bring different brands together and put different products in these care packages.
Can you name any of the brands that donated?
Absolutely. So just to name a few, Bantam Bagels. It's one of the popular Shark Tank brand that Laura Grenier invested in. They were involved from the very beginning. They jumped on board. They sent us pallets of product. the two owners are lovely people. Lori was involved, and she she interviewed us at one of the hospitals at Northern Westchester. So they were all about helping. Good culture is another big one. Our friend Pat has been involved in this business since the very beginning on just helping guide certain things and always being a part of some good ideas to pursue. And he was on board. Sent us like 5 pallets of good culture, different like probiotic shots. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we get them here, and it sounds like they were quite healthy packages. How many packages did you deliver, all in all, to different hospitals? And was it just hospitals that you were delivering to?
Yeah, so this initiative was hospitals. I mean, those were some of the hardest hit areas. Not that there wasn't a lot of first responders hit or frontliners hit hard, but hospitals we thought were a great starting point. All of those brands were put together. I mean, it was them. It was Sir Kensington's. It was Zach's Mighty, the tortilla chips, Illy Coffee, Rise, which is a nitro cold brew. There's a lip balm company named Zoe that donated. I mean, and that's just to name a few. I think overall there was about 35 brands that came together.
Fantastic.
And packaged them in these brown bags with a sticker on it to make sure that all of our guests knew that these were donated by the brands. I think all in all, we visited over 21 hospitals, and it was roughly 9,000 care packages handed out, along with another 3,000 meals that were donated from our culinary team as well.
That's amazing. Really, honestly, guys, amazing job. I mean, we've seen a lot of people come forward and be very generous here in the UK, and it's acts like this that keep our communities going, right?
Sure.
And in terms of, I mean, you must have had a few challenges along the way. Can you talk about any of the challenges that came about in this initiative?
Yeah, I think the overall our donation initiative was went pretty well. It was something we were a little bit more familiar with. I think some of the COVID challenges really came when we took the next step and we partnered with World Central Kitchen to feed different communities and hospitals in New York City. At a really rapid rate. We started to do meals for the hospitals, but through World Central. They had a partnership with Bloomberg Philanthropies and the New York City Health and Hospital System, to which we joined onto that project with them. To date for them, we've served, I believe it was the 536,000 meals in 46 days. So there was some challenges there. I mean, pivoting our entire operation to be dedicated to that from the office team and having an assigned project management team, and just dealing with the sheer volume, right? Like we're very accustomed to doing 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah.
When we go down to the Super Bowl, we do 10,000 servings of something in all of the fan zones or All-Star weekends. I mean, we're no stranger to that. But to be able to pump out, the tens of thousands of servings daily, consistently, 7 days a week, there's definitely a lot of challenges there, primarily in just coordination and logistics, and how COVID, really affected that, where we knew we could do it, but the chicken was a day behind, so you switch to turkey, and where's the beef, or where your supply chain gets interrupted. So there's a lot of things out of our control made it a very challenging situation as well.
Was there any point where you just wanted to give up? I mean, you must have been quite stressed. I mean, obviously everyone's stressed out there. There's a lot of fear and anxiety around anyway. And you've got this huge initiative, and that there must have been a lot of pressure that you were feeling. Was there any point you thought, God, I just can't do this anymore. We just can't do this anymore?
Yeah, Sonia, I think that definitely at one point in there, that anxiety and pressure that you're speaking of does kick in. When you're when you know that it's not only you have to complete a job, but you have the feeling that these meals are going to people, and they're going to people that are stuck in that hospital. Right. And these people are saving lives, and you got to make a meal for them. Like, just get it done. And things become difficult, and you start to overcome one obstacle, then a bigger one kicks in, and then you got to, go around that one and then go over the next obstacle. Yeah. Naturally there comes a point where you're stressed. And for me, it was really just knowing that you have your team there, knowing that, look, if I was down that day, Don was going to come in and pick it up. If he was down, John was going to come in. If we were all down, somebody from our staff was coming in and say, hey guys, get up. Like, nobody cares if you've been working 3 days straight and you took an hour nap in the corner, like, just keep going. So, I think just that overall culture that does exist here in terms of team, like, it really took a village to get that one done.
Amazing. And Well, in terms of where we are now, we're sort of coming out of lockdown. How do you see the business evolving? Are you taking anything? Are you continuing with this initiative? Are you taking anything that you've learned from this initiative into the business as you go forward?
Yeah, the biggest one, if anyone asks us to do 500,000 meals, we're going to say yes.
Yes, we can do it.
Right, yeah, no problem. Yeah, you got it.
I think one big thing is it was very rewarding to be part of a disaster relief. And that was new, well, fairly new us because we did have some involvement during Hurricane Sandy, where something very similar, where there were certain neighborhoods that were impacted and there wasn't electricity and people couldn't get food. So we got our food trucks out there to help. So I think all in all, that type of work compared to the promotional side of the business, which is our main line of business, has just a different reward set.
Yeah.
Knowing at the level of that someone really needs something is special at the end of the day, where you're serving a meal instead of it just building a connection, which is a beautiful thing, and we really value that. And you're in the trenches, and it's like it's an absolute need as opposed to a want or something that's a gesture or something that's really nice. Or you're just trying to make someone happy at the end of the day. It's more important. It really touches your heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that was a major eye opener, because even though it was the hardest job we've ever taken on since we've been in business, it was related to like the first year or two when we were working 100 hours a week easily every single week for like the first year and a half, and that was hard. This was a completely different beast altogether, and what motivated us at the end of the day, where Gio mentioned, the times did get to a point where you're like, oh my God, you really have to get this job done. There's so much purpose around this, and it's a lot of moving pieces, and this is ramping up so quickly. We have 20,000 meals to do tomorrow, and it's already like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, just keep on going. Was that just overall connection to just purpose? What are you doing? And I think that's something that we could do across the board. Hopefully that we built a platform where we were able to hire over 110 people during this time and bring in 15 different businesses that didn't have any work to get through this project. We didn't do it on our own. We were lucky to have some amazing partners that we brought into this, and they stepped up as well to do this. So keep these connections, keep other people that are working, keep these other 110 people that are working right now, because we're still pursuing different initiatives, still mostly through World Central Kitchen today. I think we have another sector of our business, a completely different vertical. We have our promotional side, and we have this relief side, this relief effort, and we're confident. Same way we have our campaigns across the country, we could do this relief efforts across the country, if not potentially worldwide one day, if we could start looking into how we can help.
It's made me feel, I've got little bubbles bubbling up inside me. The fact that you've turned this situation that most people look at and is pretty disastrous, and you've turned it around. You talk about purpose, connection, and really seeing the benefits of really this adversity, and you've managed to turn it around. And it sounds like your company's going to go on and do absolutely amazing, beautiful things for society. What lessons? You mentioned purpose, connection there. What does sort of the future hold for you guys, and what lessons have you really learned from this whole pandemic?
So for us, it's right now, keep going, right? As we inch towards, I guess what we can call a sense of normality, right? And as we inch towards that, I think our core line of business is going to keep going, and it's going to pick up, and people are going to be anxious to go outside and really get out once the restrictions are lifted through the phases. But there's got to be a movement towards something a little bit more grassroots, a little smaller. There may not be gatherings of 5,000 to 10,000 people, but we're a really effective way to reach 100 and 200 and 500 as well, and we're a good way to have that flow where it doesn't necessarily have to be a standby gathering. So, I think coming out of this, there's a lot of good things for our core business in terms of lessons that we've learned. I think it's just compounded on what we started to build as our foundation, right? And as far as, being adaptable, as far as changing, as far as growing, and as far as perspective and attitude, and how every new challenge, if you look at it a certain way, and you use what you have, you're going to figure out how to grow and add things to the repertoire. So, I think that, overall after this, you definitely have a sense of feeling really good. We got through another one, stop me now kind of thing, right? So there's a really good feeling behind that. And I think if we just keep applying that and keep going, that's that's really the key and the focus for us right now. Let's fully get through this. Let's see where it goes. And then once again, we'll do our best to foresee, our best to plan and project. But, as it comes, also don't forget that we are in the now and move and adjust and dance as you need to now. So you can really move through things as well.
Well, you're a prime example of how a business has adapted, been flexible, and shown their staff, amazing amount of loyalty. It sounds like your company culture is just the right thing at this time, and it sounds like you've taken on so many lessons from the situation. Where can people still donate to the cause? Is
So
there?
it wouldn't be a private, though, like a person-to-person donation. These were more B2B donations coming in from different brands.
And
we were not taking any monetary donations, though.
And if any company's watching this and likes you guys and wants to pursue things further, how do they find out about you? And we'll put it all in the show notes.
Sure. So if they want to participate, let's get the product in quick. I think we'll do another 2 or 3 runs roughly, before I think the need will start to ease.
Yeah.
So we'd be happy to entertain any conversations and kind of figure things out together. The best way to reach us would definitely be through our website, which is www.promobilekitchen.com, or our Instagram, which is @PromobileKitchen, where you can also see the progress of what we've done and some really cool photos along the way.
Fantastic. And I'll say we'll put all the links in that you need at the end. Guys, it's been a real pleasure from across the waters here in London to talk to you guys. And one day I hope we can meet face to face. I'm sure we will. And it's been a real pleasure having you on my show today, and you're doing amazing work. So yeah, keep it up.
Yeah, pleasure to see you, and thank you for taking the time to hear a little bit about us. Thank you, Sonya.